What's up, everybody? This is Luke Patrick with the AndroidAppsReview.com. Today we're slinging out yet another video review, this time taking a look at an application called FPse that I have loaded up right here, ready to go. This is for Android, as you can tell. And this is one of my favorite apps that we have ever reviewed, I'm going to be honest. This is a PlayStation X or so original PlayStation emulator for your Android device. It works on a menagerie of different devices, and its system requirements are surprisingly pretty low. I guess the original PlayStation, though I have such great fond memories of it, was not a very powerful machine, but the games are still amazing. I will say on the front end that the PlayStation has a very, very special part in my heart, just because I remember when it first came out, I remember how great it was, and I had so much fun playing all the games that were on it. So in my opinion, some of the games that were on this were the best ever produced, like Spyro, which is what I have loaded up right here. Quick note before this, before we get into this, you are going to need to get a BIOS, which they cannot legally give to you via the package itself, just for copyright reasons. You can find them all over the internet. The legality of this is okay, so don't worry about it. But the games itself, you do want to own these games. These are great games. You can find them pretty easily, pretty cheap elsewhere, and then just simply use any number of tools on your computer to copy them into an iOS and then a bin format. The game or the emulator FPse will walk you through all of this, but again, just make sure you're on the legal side of things. Having a BIOS also helps with save states and other things like that. But you know, as far as the games go, don't be cheap. Just, you know, support these classics. They're really good. All right. So, I am on a Kindle Fire, so it's going to pop up with that occasionally, a notification telling me that it cannot license. That's because this is not a standard Google device, so it can't reach Google servers. So don't worry about that. Your device would be fine. And I do have sound turned off on this so that you can hear my beautiful voice. But as you can see, we've got the controller pad over here, exactly like you would expect it to be. You've got buttons along the side, and this is Spyro, playing right here, developed by Insomniac. I don't know if they exist anymore, actually, so there you go, license check fail, and again, that will not appear on your device. This is just because I'm doing this on a Kindle Fire, and it will go away in a second, and then we can keep playing. And the game is obviously unimpeded by it. Alright, so we've got all the different buttons over here. So we've got R1, the usual triangle, square, circle, X. Over here, you can do any of these. So if I hit X, it will go. Accessing memory cards. And then slot 1, sure. And then we're going to go new game. And yeah, there we go. And it will launch into this. So again, this is Spyro. I mean, this is the entire game, the original Spyro the Dragon that I'm playing on my Android device. That's pretty phenomenal. So, you know, obviously graphics pretty superb. If you wanted to mess with any of the settings, you simply click this, and then you have quick save, which you can do. Just select a slot. Again, having a BIOS really helps with this. You can change disc if you need to. So if you're playing Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy VIII or Final Fantasy IX and you want to change a disc, you can do that. That's exactly like it would be on the original system. There's cheats if you want to add these things. So there's it already downloaded cheats. One of the greatest things about this game, or this emulator rather, is that well, one, it's very intuitive. So like as you can see, if I tap, it will actually go back through the menu. Another great thing about this is it automatically does pretty much everything. So if you load a game onto your Android device, it will say, do you want me to scan the SD card? You say yes. It goes through, it finds the BIOS, it finds your games, and it automatically loads them. So all you have to do is get a game onto your Android device. So that just means transferring it. There are a million ways to transfer files between Android devices in your computer. It takes 2 seconds, and once you're there, you're done. It's really, really simple. Different audio codecs is involved. I'm going to turn off the null sound plugin. You can do reverb, you can mute it. You can click to go back. Video, there's also all kinds of stuff in here. So if you have a super powered Android device, you can click enhanced 3D rendering. This does come with and Boost Tires games, various other things. This does come with a menagerie of different settings to make sure that the game looks even better. That's something that we can do with ROMs, because obviously the original PlayStation, not a super powered machine compared to modern day devices. So we can actually boost those and make them look a lot better. And that's included on this emulator on your Android phone. How crazy is that? Especially for guys like me that remember when the PlayStation came out. And I thought it was the greatest thing on the planet. you know, it still looks pretty good to me, but just the fact that we can do that, that's a real, it's unbelievable to me. And I imagine it's hard to think about what my elders must think. So anyway, just a bit of information there. This is compatible with various gamepads as well, so if you have any of that, you can plug up and play, though we kind of don't think you'd want to do that just because this is a mobile device. But if you wanted to, it's there. Other than that, under the miscellaneous headings, we got saves, video, audio, controllers, multiplayers. Multiplayer is fairly well supported, so that's there as well. And obviously I'm not going to play through Spyro. Again, the license check failed thing will pop up because of my Kindle Fire not being a registered Google device, and I also don't have it rooted. So, again, all the buttons are in here. So you've got L1, L2, L3, and the same thing for the R's. And you can skip using the X button. So let's do a little bit of running around, and then that's it. So I'm going to just play a little bit of this just so you can see it. There you go, see it in action. You know, it works pretty darn well, other than the fact that obviously the right trigger buttons, or the trigger buttons, are going to be a little bit harder to get to. But other than that, this game is functioning. Look at that. This is Spyro on my Android device. I rescued a dragon. So anyway, there you go, guys. This is easily one of my favorite applications ever that we've looked at on the Android apps review. It's truly phenomenal. And again, if you've never played any of these, let's say you're from a younger generation that hasn't played anything for PlayStation X, then this is one of my favorites. So you can go buy Spyro somewhere. But this is a great way to get into it. It costs nothing, and it's also just simple to set up. I was afraid it would take forever to get there, but it doesn't. It actually read from the SD card and everything was super snappy. So again, great title. One of my favorite things that we've ever looked at, and because of that, I'm going to easily give it a 5 out of 5, as well as an extreme recommendation for anyone from my generation that loved this kind of stuff, or any newcomers that just want to check it out. So from me here at the AndroidAppsReview.com, it's a 5 out of 5 for FPse, and that's all I have to say about it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out, but I will see you guys later. Bye.